64 Tacos Podcasts presents Is This Song Good? This is episode 12, Land of Talk, the Fate I Won't Commit.
Okay, welcome back to 64 Tacos presents Is This Song Good podcast series. This time around, we're going to be talking about a song called The Hate I Won't Commit, and it's by a band called Land of Talk. This is a song that I heard live for the first time last year. It was they were opening for Wolf Parade. This was before, everything went to shit with COVID. And so I went to a concert and I never heard of this band before. And they were playing a bunch of songs. I was like, oh, this is okay. And then this song came on and she started playing the guitar part that just really fast type of thing. And I was, I was like, hold up, what's going on here? And the like the energy and just like how violently she was playing. I don't know. I don't think she broke a string, but there were some live songs that I was watching where she breaks strings pretty regularly on playing the song. And I'm talking about the lead singer and the main songwriter for this band called her name is Elizabeth Powell. But anyway, they're a Canadian band, and I really like this song. I like a lot of their songs, but I like this one in particular, just because of how it starts really fast and it kind of breaks down a little bit, and then there's some other crazy stuff going on at the end. So I'm curious of what you guys think about it and what your impression was after you heard it.
Well, this song just grabbed me immediately. I really liked listening to this one. Just the noise. It's so different. Like a couple weeks ago, the song you picked, Zach, was just noise.
Yeah,
right? I didn't really care for it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't care for it. Right. I felt like the songwriter was trying to keep me out, and I don't like that. Because I'm the important one.
It was too much noise. It definitely is.
but man, the noise and emotion and power in this song. I honestly couldn't tell you a single word in the lyrics. I didn't look them up or listen to them. Uh-huh. And you can't really make them out easily, but it doesn't matter because just the sound of her voice with the sounds of the instruments together is just, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just wonderful. I just loved listening to it. And there's so much emotion. It just takes you on this roller coaster throughout the whole song. Mm-hmm. I absolutely adored it. It was a lot of fun. So
yeah, I loved it from the beginning. That tremolo picked opening really grabs your attention, and then the drums come in and they're like you don't have a sense of tempo at first because it's just tremolo picked, right? And the drums come in and suddenly it feels like ominous, like it really sort of like brings this sort of like dark feeling. And then the vocals are like, sort of like flying above everything, kind of distorted, super high, and almost indistinguishable. I mean, I went and read the lyrics, but I couldn't have told you any of them, before I read them. And they're very obscure, but that's interesting because then you can spend a lot of time thinking about what it might mean or not, up to you obviously. but yeah, and I really liked the sort of like hesitation at the end of sections. It was sort of like relaxed, and then there was a sort of like unspecific space of time, and then it would just sort of like drop back in. It was particularly effective, like I think like 64% of the way through the song after the lyrics are all done, and they just come back in, and you think for like 5 seconds the song is over, and then they just come back in and sit on that sort of like that big fat drum groove, and just sort of like kind of screw around with it for like a couple of minutes, which I always like. I think sometimes songs, certainly if you're trying to write something popular around the radio. Being really concise and shaving off all the extra stuff is probably a smart thing. But I really like songs that sort of just sit on something, for a while, like longer than you need to. As long as it's good. Sometimes it's not something worth dwelling on, but so I kind of enjoyed that sort of like you get like an extra 2-minute bonus at the end, just more of the song, just now with the singing. But yeah, it was really arresting and it was great. It's yeah, you were saying, Zach, that live the other songs didn't really grab you, and I was like, oh shoot, I was hoping that this band would have.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
No, I mean, so that's not to discount this band because they are pretty incredible, and there are a lot of songs that I love. In fact, I wanted to pick a Land of Talk song for this podcast series, and I had difficulty picking the one that I thought would be like the most exciting and driving one, and this is the one that really rose up. But there are lots of other songs that they have that are as good as the song that you guys should definitely check out if you like this.
Because I really liked it, and I will be listening to the band more just to find out what else is good, because it's hard to find. Yeah. I don't know if it's just that you get older and you stop. Zach, you probably don't have this as much. You're more seek out music constantly, but sometimes when you get older, you're less excited about new bands, or new bands have a little more trouble, like sort of worming their way in and getting like traction. Like you're like, oh, I like this, and then like after a while, you're like, it was okay. I don't know what is there. You kind of go back to your old stuff.
Well, I mean, if you listened to last week's episode, I definitely expressed that. I mean, I immediately labeled that song as punk and didn't care.
Yeah. Well, and that's the funny thing about music. Sometimes you hear something and it just strikes you, and sometimes the same song means nothing to you for a while, and then you hear it when you're ready for it, and it hits you. Yep. But some songs you're like, nope, I don't like that. And then your brain's like, okay, good, let's move on, and never give that a chance again. But you never know how that's going to go till you listen to it. But yeah, this is definitely one that grabbed you more than the Titus Andronicus song, and it grabbed me a lot more than the other song that we had in rotation, the Ruth B one, because it was different, and it has that, like, I keep talking about this, but it has non-pretty vocals, which is usually positive for me. I kind of like that sort of like, deliberately off-putting almost. I mean, I feel like you can do so much more. I don't know. It's almost like when a song is really conventional and conventionally sung, I'm like, all right, well, you better do this so well. Like you need to really knock this out of the park, because you're not doing anything particularly interesting right now. It's almost like a shortcut when bands have different kinds of vocals where I'm like, okay, this is different. All right, well, that helps. Immediately I'm not sort of bored by the really sort of conventional approach. And this song definitely isn't very conventional. I mean, for a rock song, it's you don't know what to expect. And yes, they do sort of loop around, and by the end you know what to expect. But I thought it was great. It's been my favorite song that we've sort of discovered. Song I hadn't heard that was suggested for one of these, out of the 10 or 12 that we've done so far. I really, really liked it.
Yeah, I don't go to many concerts anymore, with the kids and all that. Yeah, just getting old. But when Wolf Parade came to town, I was like, I gotta go see them one more time. And usually with opener bands, I could care less. Oftentimes I'm just like sitting in the corner, not listening, not paying attention or whatever. But this one, there were a couple okay ones at the beginning. I was like, oh, that's interesting, that's good. And then this song came on and it just blew me away. And then I had to go and listen to more of them from that. But yeah, I love the bass tone, the type of where it breaks down. It's got the really tremolo picking stuff, and then it breaks down to this like swingy type of like, bow 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 bow, and it's just it just kills me every time I listen to it. Even the like. Whatever you want to call it, like the guitar solo that sounds like video game sounds, It's like that really
really
plinky guitar or plinky video game type of sound, and it doesn't really do much as a guitar solo. But then, like you said, it just keeps going on and on and on.
It's more of a jam session than a solo, is what it is. I mean, the drums and the bass are right there with her, the whole way. It's not just them playing a basic melody and then she's thrashing on top of it. It's they're all working together to make this wonderful piece of.
They got this great groove, and they just keep it going for a while, and it
has more of a blues feel. I mean, it's not blues, but it's what you get in the last 3 minutes of a blues song after the singers sung his choruses and verses.
I think it might be punk,
Well, no, I'm pretty sure it's not punk.
Okay, all right. I don't really know what punk is, so that's cool. No, I did make a note to mention that awesome bass tone in that back part of the song that really sort of like distorted, and it's there before, but it surged, like it really takes sort of like, I don't know if they boosted it in the mix or just they played in they create a little space for it. But man, yeah, really, really awesome tone. I really like that.
Yeah. Did you guys watch that animated video at all?
I did.
I did the first time.
The animation is really cool.
Yeah. I don't know if it gives any insight to what the song's about. I mean, my best guess.
Feel it did, but
yeah, my best guess is it kind of, and especially with the title of it, "The Hate I Won't Commit." I think it has something to do with like, kind of saying that you're not gonna be a jerk or like a shithead or hate on stuff, and then coming to find out that you actually do that, or you have done that. That's my best understanding, but it's so open to interpretation. I'm sure anybody can come up with their own thing about it.
Yeah. You could read both the title and the lyrics in a bunch of different ways. And that's kind of,
and it's not really why I care. I care because the sounds are good, and I enjoy it, and like I said, it in other podcasts, I like something that slaps me across the face, and this one does that.
Your face is fully slapped. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, do we want to vote? Anybody have more to say?
Yeah, that's an enthusiastic yes. That's a good song.
Yeah, absolutely. Same for me.
All right. Yep. Definitely. Yes for me.
All right. And then next week, we're going to do a song that I'm picking. And if you guys have heard this, let me know, because I've got a backup. But it's a song by Belle and Sebastian called "Another Sunny Day."
Nope. I don't think I've heard that one.
I think I've heard it because I've I perused Belle and Sebastian a couple of times, but none of it grabbed me enough for me to remember it. So I think that it will qualify.
All right, that sounds good. We'll plan on Belle and Sebastian next week, and yeah.
All right,
that's it for now.
I caught it on audio.